Hey everyone, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna call this video because I'm not really sure at this point what all's gonna be in this video, how much I'm gonna talk about. There's so much going on right now that it's a lot. I mean, it's good for drama channels, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot. And I've been missing more than usual. Like, I've never been too consistent, let's be honest. I kind of like, when I was living back home with my parents, which sounds so bad because I'm like almost a 30-year-old woman, it was a little bit easier to film. And so I was filming a lot more often, a lot more consistently. And I moved in with a roommate, and since then it's like I have breaks, and then I try to film a couple videos and I post those right away, and then I have another break. This break has been a little bit more of an actual break, and I felt bad that I didn't communicate with you guys or let you know what was going on. So I kind of want to take the time to do that now, and then just kind of like mention a few things that have been going on that everyone's talking about, and then we can, y'all can let me know in the comments what would y'all like to hear more about. Like, because we've got David Dobrik, James Charles, Katie being freaking Katie. Let me give my disclaimer because I cuss in my videos, and let's just do that. So I cuss in my videos. Try to keep it to a minimum, but if you have little ones around, please, please, please go watch something else, and please come back. I would love to have you here, but I am not kid friendly. Damn, I'm getting good at that. All right. It's weird being back in front of a camera when you haven't filmed in a while, I'm not gonna lie. Not that I've ever been totally comfortable with it, it's still weird. But to get into where I've been and what's been going on, first of all, I had just hit 1,000, which is amazing, and I appreciate all of you so much. And so I felt really guilty not being here and not talking to you guys, and I miss it. Like, I can't even describe how awesome of a feeling it is to have all of you here and to be able to talk to you and get to know you guys. And you're an amazing support system, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Like, I seriously can't thank you enough. So most of you know I've had a lot going on. Like, since I moved out and moved in over here, there's been like the adjustment of moving, there's the adjustment of living with my roommate, there's the whole kids being out of school due to the COVID stuff. They just went back to school and then they were out again, and our schedules have been a mess, to say the least. I did lose my father-in-law, and then my dad was in the hospital. My friend was shot, and she is in the hospital. My dad has been back to the hospital, which is during this last break that I have taken. From what I can understand, my daddy's still getting dizzy and still passing out. They're trying to figure out what it is. He had open heart surgery years ago, so it may be that he needs open heart surgery again. We're hoping not. Could possibly need a stent. Don't know. The doctors are saying that the EKG looks good, so they don't think it's his heart, but he does have to see a specialist, and he has to see a specialist a lot sooner than what we thought. I know Mama's got him on a diet. She's, only healthy things and all that good stuff, and they're keeping up with all his, blood pressure, sugar, and all those things. So, doing what we can around that. But they do, the last time he went to the ER, which was 3 days ago, he had passed out again, so they are looking into sending him to a neurologist because they believe that it could be that he's having mild seizures. Now, I've had friends that were epileptic, a couple of them actually, and it doesn't scare me so much because I feel like I have a better understanding of what's going on. But it's still scary because it's my dad. And my dad's very afraid of seizures. He's only had one person that he knew that had seizures. And, you know, seizures do look a lot more scary from the outside, you know, and I'm know my friends to say that it's scary, but I think that that's something that's a bit more manageable versus if it's something with heart and his heart surgery. So that's what's been going on with that. As far as my friend who was shot, she unfortunately is still in the hospital. Because she was on drugs, they have her withdrawing. She is not awake yet. She is still on a ventilator, which they are slowly trying to, because one of her lungs isn't working. So they're trying to slowly bring that ventilator down and have her breathe more on her own and get her lungs strengthened up and back working. So she had still not been awake. And the last thing I want to talk about to kind of explain what's been going on with me, where I've been, you know. First of all, like this is difficult. I'm not gonna lie, this is difficult because I feel like because I've had so much going on, like it's almost like an unbelievable amount of shit. Okay, it really is, and I'm not trying to get on here and be emotional. I have. It's not that I have a problem doing that. It's just I'm tired. I am emotionally and mentally drained from everything to the point where I don't want to sit here and cry to you guys and you know, this happened and this happened and this happened. I just want you to know what's going on with me because I do have a hard time dealing with things initially. I deal with a lot of anxiety and I have dealt with depression. And the thing is, like, while I've managed these things quite a bit better than what I used to, I mean, when I say I had depression, I'm talking like truly laying in a bed, not being able to get up, not being able to do literally anything. It's horrible. So I'm not in that place. I've learned to manage both my anxiety and depression, but I do shut down still. When a lot of stuff goes on, I tend to cut everything out, cut everything off. And so filming just was not an option for a while. But with that said, I'm also like, I'm telling you these things because I want you to know what's going on. I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate you guys, or that I don't appreciate that I'm able to do videos, or that I don't want to be here talking to you guys, because I do with all my heart. I do. I love this so much, and I love having you guys. It's something that I've said many times. It's brought me and my daughter together. It's given me something to work towards and be proud of, and I can't express enough how much it means to me that any of you guys would stop and listen to what I have to say. So with that said, like, I want y'all to know what's going on with me. I want to be able to tell you, but what I don't want is, I don't want anyone to think like, oh my God, it's always something with her. Oh my God, you know, she's always, you know, got the most horrible shit going on, and she's always taking these breaks. And like, I don't want that to be the case at all. But I do have a hard time dealing with some of this stuff, and it really has been back to back to back to back. Like, it's just been. And I hate that it's that way, but it is. And, you know, there's a lot of good too. And I please, you know, just because I'm telling you about the bad, because that's what led me to being offline, it doesn't mean there's no good. There's been a lot of good, man. So the reason I haven't been here this go around, obviously it's a combination of quite a few things. You know, my dad has been back in and out of the hospital, but also, and without getting emotional, and I can't stress this enough, I love you guys and I appreciate your support, but I'm not saying none of this to get any sympathy. I don't need any more like sadness and reminders. I want to say it and move past it. So my best friend, who I grew up with from babies, you know, we were in strollers at the same time, like, you know, she passed away of an overdose. And I didn't find out until a couple days later because her parents unfortunately seemed very ashamed of who she was. She wasn't just a drug addict. She was an amazing person, and she had a lot of mental health issues that I don't feel were ever fully addressed. I don't, she wouldn't. Sometimes she would seek help. She never followed through. But that was my best friend for my whole life. Hadn't hung around with her in a while. It's been about a year since we've spent any time together. We tried over the years when she would get on her medication and leave the drugs alone. We tried to connect. We did every time that things were straight like that. We did, but it's hard. She was on a mixture of drugs, and she wasn't taking her mental health medication as she would for a short period of time. Then she would feel as though it was not helping or making things worse, which happens to a lot of people, and she would quit taking it, and then things would get worse. So it's been a while since we had kind of caught up, and it just came out of nowhere. And I don't want to see any comments of, well, you do drugs and that's what happens. Like, no, it's not always what happens. And although it has happened a lot, it doesn't make it any easier when you lose someone. And, this this person has just, like I said, she's been in my life since my whole life. And we were raised to be best friends. We were best friends. We were supposed to have our kids and raise them together. And that, unfortunately, has not happened because of, the life choices we both made. I went in a different direction. She went in a different direction. She did have 2 kids. One is a little younger than mine, and one's really little, and that sucks. It's heartbreaking, but they're okay because, they don't, without saying a whole lot, she did not have custody of either of her children, so they were already living in different homes. So honestly, they're going to be okay. Yeah, so that's what's been going on with me, between losing another person that I love to an overdose and my daddy having health issues. It's just been a whole lot. And I'm sorry about the light. The light's just, sun, can't control it. But it has been a lot, and it's been very difficult to keep myself together, because I had been dealing with a lot already, and then finally feeling like I was coming back up. I was getting back on track. Things were going to be good. And it just kind of was like, all of a sudden I was dealt one of the hardest situations I've ever had to face. And I say that every time, I guess. It's never easy. It's never, no matter how many times you've lost people, like, it doesn't get easier. I loved her to death. She knew things about me that my husband never knew, that my daughter doesn't know. Like, and I knew things about her in the same way, like, because we shared our entire life together up until the last few years. And even, like I said, even then we always found a way to connect in some way. But it kills me, and I don't want to go into a whole thing about how drugs are horrible, but damn, they're horrible. Like, try not to say her name. This girl she should have had a whole different life. She didn't have her family didn't have a lot of money, but they had money. She was always in piano, dance, soccer, band, drama. She did, we have a local, well, a little ways down the road, but a theater that puts on plays and performances, and she was always a part of that. She had a beautiful voice. She was just so fucking talented. Like, seriously, man, she was gorgeous and talented and smart, but also had a lot of street smarts and common sense, and she was slick, man. We've definitely gotten ourselves into some shit a couple times. And it's sad and it's horrible to see where her life went. Because that shouldn't have been her life. It shouldn't have been. She shouldn't have been known as that crazy crackhead. And that's what people remember her for, and that pisses me off. Yeah, this video, good lord, it's a lot longer than I thought. Yeah, so I guess I'm not getting into any of the things I was thinking about talking about. I'm sorry. I do apologize. I will start making videos about everything going on. But you know what? Like, it's shitty because it was only a couple months ago. There was a picture of her shared on Facebook because she was either high or off her meds or both. But it was freezing cold outside, and she was walking in a bikini, tennis shoes, and a beanie, and carrying a stick. And people shared it, talk shit. Look at these crackheads in this town. Yeah, look at this shit. And just straight up, man. That's my fucking best friend, bro. Like, it pissed me off to no fucking end. And it kills me that that's what people are going to think of. That's what they're going to remember. And she was so fucking much more than that. Like, this girl was incredible. She was incredible. And she was so fucking kind. Even through, like, the shit she dealt with and the drugs that she did and all of that. Like, even through that, she had such an amazing heart and would literally give you the clothes off her back. She was that bitch, man. Like, she was smart, she was beautiful, she was funny she was fucking hilarious. And she was, badass, man. It kills me that her parents are acting ashamed. They moved the funeral miles away, or whatever, memorial service. They wouldn't tell anybody. They didn't tell anybody she had passed away. I grew up with them, and they didn't even call me. They didn't try to contact me. I found out through her neighbor who had seen the ambulances there the 2 days before. And she was like, hey, I just realized maybe you didn't know. Because I guess she assumed that her parents were going to start telling people, and they didn't. So she was like, you should know. I know y'all were like homegirls and shit. Wow, this video didn't quite go the way I planned it. Whatever does, I want y'all to know what's going on with me. And I'm not on here to cry and be sad. And I'm not. Because I do feel like my friend went through a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. And of course, more than anything, I wish she would have gotten better. I wish she'd have gotten help. And I wish that I could have seen her with a different life altogether. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. And the only way I know how to deal with this and how to look at this is that she is at peace. There is no more suffering and fighting in her brain, and because I've been there and I know what that's like, and we've talked about it, and I know what she felt. So there's no more of that. And that's the only way I can look at it, is that she hopefully found some sort of peace. With that said, I know this is a lot. I know this is a whole lot of me dumping my emotions out again without trying to. But I need y'all to know what's going on. And I like I said, I know it's a lot. It has been back to back to back to back. And I don't want you to think, I'm telling you any of this to gain sympathy. I'm fucking not. I'm not that type of person. No. I'm not here to make excuses or anything. I want to be back making videos for you guys. I want to be back talking to you guys. There's so much I had planned, so much I wanted to talk about, so much I wanted to do, and I want to get back on track. And I want to do that because this is what I love, and the people that love me would like to see me do, including the ones that I've lost. So that's what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going to get on here and make videos, and I'm going to try to keep myself from falling back into the anxiety, the depression, and feeling like I can't get up and film. Like, that's where I've been at for however long I've been gone, is feeling like I can't do it. And I don't want that anymore. I want to get up and get things done, talk about what's going on, and be there with you guys, because you make me feel good. You help me through a lot, and I want to be there in that same way, the best that I can. So while this video has not been at all like I planned, and while nothing I planned seems to go as planned, we're going to start winging it. And I'm going to try my ass off to do better for you guys, and to be here with videos and talk about what's going on, because there's a lot of other serious shit happening on the internet, and I would love to talk about it. So with that said, I love you guys so, so, so much. And I will be back. I was about to say, I will see you in the next one. I'll be back. I promise. And from here on out, no more breaks. Even when I have shit going on, I don't want to take any more breaks. And the only reason, I'll say this real quick and I'll let you go, I promise. The only reason I hadn't come back sooner and talked about this a bit more is because I kind of got caught in a situation where I'm like, I want to tell y'all what's going on, but I knew it had been a lot, and I know it's a lot of heavy shit, and I didn't want to feel like I was putting that on you guys. So I hope that you can understand that. You know, I don't want to be getting up here every week and talking about someone else dying. It's just what's happening in my life. It is what it is. So, but like I said, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.